So I got a call today from my client Terry. She'd like to see an oval blue sapphire. So I go to my VDB app. When I log in, it's bringing me to the diamond shape screen because that's the last search I ran. So to access color gemstones, I need to go to my home menu. To access the home menu, I tap on the icon in the upper left-hand corner with 3 horizontal lines. I see the Virtual Diamond Boutique logo at the top, and just below that, I see 4 icons. The purple is to access Mine Diamonds, the blue will access Color Gemstones, the green, Jewelry, and the orange, Lab Grown. So I'm going to tap on the blue, brings me into Select a Gem Type. So I'm going to select the Sapphire, and Sapphire comes in all shades of the rainbow, so I'm going to select Color, and she wants a blue sapphire specifically. At the bottom, I have other search criteria options to select. I'm going to go to shape because she told me she'd like an oval sapphire. I'm going to go to carat, and she'd like a 3.5 to 4 carat stone. I could also enter specific measurements, but in this case, it's not needed. I can move on to lab. I know she trusts GIA and the American Gem Society grading report, so I'm going to select those. Move on to location, and because I want to see a few stones potentially on memo first to help her make the perfect selection, I'm going to go to run a United States search, close my keyboard by hitting return, hit done, and I also know that Terry's price range is quite flexible, so I'm going to opt for non-treated sapphires. And then when I am finished entering my criteria, I hit search in the center bottom of the screen, and it pulls up my search results. So I have a lot of options here. I can see prices. I can switch to a list view to see which suppliers are holding the stones and where they're located, or I can switch back to the picture view. And from here, I'm going to choose items based on the pictures because I know she wants a relatively saturated stone, but in more mid-tones. So I can scroll through and select the sapphires I think might appeal to her. I'm going to give her a range of colors and a range of intensity to let her choose. And let's say I want to see an item to know a little bit more about it. I could tap right on it. You can see who's holding the stone, where they're located. At the bottom, I have the ability to view their image, to pull up their video, which might take a second to load. I can also pull up the grading report, hit the back arrow, and if I want to select this item, I'm going to tap the heart as well. So now as I scroll up, I can see all of the items I've already selected as favorites. They're marked with the red hearts. And to view them all side by side or together, I'm going to tap on the heart icon in the upper right hand corner. Brings me to my love folder. From here I can see them, I can see the colors, and I notice one is standing out that I don't like. It's got too much of a green tint to it, so I'm going to select the top stone. I'm going to put it in my garbage can. I don't want it to be in her folder. So now I have the ability to save these items as favorites on VDB, but more importantly, I can create collection folders to stay more organized. So I'm going to tap on the collection tab. And Terry's a client I work with regularly, so I already have a folder. It happens to be empty. So I want to move my favorited sapphires into it. So I tap back on Loved. I can select the items by putting a check mark to the left of each. And then at the bottom, I hit the plus there. And I'm going to choose Terry's folder. The items are moved. I can tap back on collections, and now I see that Terry has 5 items in her folder. To the right of the folder is a menu. It's the gray icon with 3 dots. If I tap it, it allows me to view, rename the folder, share it, or delete it. I'm going to view it, so I tap. And now I see the sapphires all next to one another. A nice range in colors, and a decent range in the sizes for her to view, as well as pricing. However, as I saw earlier, I saw a supplier name, so I want to double check before I send this to Terry by tapping on the top stone, and sure enough, I'm in cost mode. So I'm in sourcing mode with vendor information and cost pricing. I do not want to send this to Terry, so I tap the back arrow in the upper left-hand corner, back arrow again, go to my home menu. To access my price modes, I tap on my name. When I do that, I see 3 price modes. The top is sourcing mode, or base price or cost price with vendor information. I'm going to select the third mode, which is markup price, no vendor information. Each time I source, I have the ability to change my markup percent. So let's say in this case, I want to mark these sapphires up 65%. It will say the markup amount has been added. And I can go back to my collections and favorites either by scrolling down the home menu and tapping collections or favorites, or tapping in the truncated portion to the right of my screen. So I go back over. The home menu, I'm not sure if you noticed, but changed to orange. That's telling me I'm in markup mode. But to be sure, I'm going to view Terry's folder again. I'm going to tap on that top stone, and sure enough, the vendor information is gone. So when I go back to her folder, again, I'm seeing the marked up prices. And at the bottom, I can view the images, the videos, or more importantly, I can send this to Terry either through email, WhatsApp, or SMS. I'm going to choose email. For the example of today, I'm going to send it to myself so I can pull up the email and show you exactly how it looks when a customer receives it. Apologize. Let me put in my email address, and then I'm going to make a note to myself. Why did I send this? So I'm going to close the keyboard and send. So this ability, if Terry is out of town or today with stores closed and customers a little nervous about coming out of their homes right now, you have the ability to create these collections and share it with your buyer. So in the safety of her home, she can go through, she can peruse, you can have either a phone call or set up a Zoom call so that face to face you can go through with her and point out the beauty of these different sapphires and why she may pick one over the other. So you can show her all of the exquisite detail. You can explain to her why one might be more appealing to the other, and she can help you go on the search for the perfect sapphire for her. So this ability to work remotely with your customer, now granted, a video is not the same as seeing it live, but it's the next best thing. And it allows you to complete a lot of the curating and narrowing down and communicating with your customer with her when she's home or her when she's across the country on a business trip. This is a really powerful selling ability. It couples the technology of being able to source colored gemstones, diamonds, jewelry, what have you, but it also couples, your experience, your expertise, and knowing how to look at these items and then be able to communicate that to your customer through a collection when she's wherever she may be, so that you can bring in the perfect items and close the sale. So if I come back and go to my email, I should see, oops, I'm in my personal email, forgive me. Here it is. So I pull up my shared collection. In this case, the email says Liz Stam from VDB because that's me. But in the case of a retailer sending it, it would have the retailer's name, so maybe Beth, and it would have her store name. So it would say Beth from Jones Brothers has shared a stone with you, or a collection. So to view the collection, I can tap on the call to action button. And now I'm seeing what Terry would be seeing when I send her the collection. So she has the ability to open the stones, and she can see the sapphire. She can see pull up the video. I'm going to close it because my Wi-Fi is a little slow. She can also pull up the grading report and study that for herself. So she has all of the elements at her fingertips to help narrow down and let you know what exactly, if you hit the nail on the head and you found the perfect sapphire for her, she can let you know that. Or if she'd like to see a couple in store live so that she can really see the play of light, see how it looks in daylight versus in store light, etc. Whatever it takes to close the sale, this is getting you several steps closer and giving you the ability to communicate with your buyer when either she's across the country on a business trip, or maybe she's just home and nervous about coming into the store with everything that's been going on. So this is a very powerful communication tool. a beautiful way to connect with your customer when you're not there. We've all been using Zoom meetings and other forms of communication to help supplement the ability that we don't have right now to be face-to-face and to see one another the way we prefer. So using this shared collection feature gives you the ability today, tomorrow, the next day, even if your store is closed, to connect with your customer. Anniversaries are still happening, birthdays are still happening, people are still getting engaged. Give them a way to work with you, to share your expertise,